You know, I don't much care for the police. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's the fear that you're breaking some law you don't know about. And then on top of that, hearing that old tired phrase, ignorance is no excuse. Well, I'm here to tell you that yes. Yes, it fucking is. Okay, so around a long time ago, a guy named Hammurabi decided to erect a monument with all the laws of the land carved into it. That way, anyone could look at it and know what the hell is going on. This worked because there weren't that many laws, and they were literally carved in stone, so it wasn't likely that they were going to change anytime soon. But these days, there's so many laws and regulations for every little thing that there's no feasible way for one person to know them all. Even if you dedicated your life to studying them, laws are being redacted, modified, or otherwise changed at a faster rate than you could possibly memorize them. You know you have a problem when one of the highest paid and most esteemed professions in the land is knowing the fucking laws. So yes, ignorance is a fucking excuse. Now you already know I hate driving, and here's another reason why. Stupid driving laws. Every state has a different set of them, and they usually don't make a lot of sense. When I was driving through Washington State, I got a $140 ticket for driving in the left lane. That's right, driving in the left lane isn't allowed unless specifically passing. Who the fuck cares? There's 2 lanes, why not use them both? When I was driving up through Maine, I noticed everyone had their headlights on, even though it was the middle of the day. I thought, now that's pretty fucking weird. But then I passed a sign saying, state law, headlights on at all times. Seriously? What the fuck? If I hadn't seen that sign, I could have been ticketed for not having my headlights on during the day. Now I mentioned the police earlier. I don't really like the police, especially recently. Seems like they've been, kind of terrifying. I seem to remember a point in time when to serve and protect was kind of the police motto, not to intimidate and harass. Now to me, serve means, you know, being a servant. So it pisses me off every time I hear about or see a police officer talking about respect. We don't have to respect you. You have to respect us. You are the servants. At least, that's how it's supposed to be. Not so much these days. Now, I was in the army, and in the army, we were very much servants of the people. We treated civilians like they were in charge of us, and in a lot of cases, they were. But the point is, even if it was some douchey contractor treating me, a soldier in uniform, like garbage, I had to smile and take it because we were servants of the people. And I seem to remember something within the army about a whole don't shoot unless fired upon approach when it comes to dealing with hostile situations. I really think the police need to adopt this. Yes, it would be more dangerous for them. How many people do you think would stop being police officers if a strict don't shoot unless fired upon rule was enacted? Just a thought. Let's talk about insurance. Health insurance is required in the States, but it costs a pretty decent amount. You're fined if you don't have health insurance. Let me ask you something. How am I going to pay health insurance fines if I don't have money for health insurance? Is this just like a life tax of some sort? Like a property tax, but on you? Every year you just sink deeper into this hole of debt that you owe the government. And speaking of property tax, this has to be one of the things that pisses me off the most. In some states, well, most states, you don't actually own anything. You don't own your house, even if it's completely paid off. Nope, the government owns it. And every year you have to pay the government or you'll be kicked out of your own house that you supposedly own. This is called property tax, and it's a problem because sometimes people get sick or they retire or they can't find work, and even if they own their house and their car and their boat, they could lose it all because they don't make enough money to pay their property taxes. Fucking bullshit. Take a look at this. You see this all the time, but you've probably never actually read it. Basically, it says, if you copy this, you could serve up to 5 years in prison and up to a $250,000 fine. What the fuck? Why? State dependent, if I went into Walmart and stole a DVD off the shelf, I'd at worst have a few $1,000 fine and less than a year in jail. But if I go home and make a copy of that DVD, which, by the way, is less of a crime, it's 5 years and $250,000? Why? I don't even consider this sort of thing a crime, really. I mean, it's illegal, so you shouldn't do it, but it's not even theft. It's like just kind of a douchey thing to do. But somehow it carries this massive penalty. How did all these things get like this? Stupid driving laws, abusive police, fucking ridiculous penalties for non-crimes. Did anyone vote to enact these things? Do they just kind of happen and everyone just accepts it? I mean, I don't go outside as it is, but if I did, I'd be terrified. Anyway, try not to get your knees broken by some pissed off police officer. I'm Kothorix, and you have a wonderful day.